Let's bring in our political editor, Andrew Clennell, who has had breaking news this afternoon for us on what New South Wales and Sydney, particularly in the Greater Sydney area, can expect from beyond this particular lockdown, Andrew.
Yes, Kieran, it's my understanding this crisis cabinet meeting that stretched over many hours, over 2 days, has come up with a position to reopen construction in Sydney after July 31, even as the numbers climb. It's just the people from the 5 local government areas where the majority of cases are, those tradies won't be able to go out and work. But all sites will be filled. It won't be the 25% limit on site that Dan Andrews put in place. But what a day, July 27, the day that Sydney stayed shut, apparently for months, as Melbourne and Adelaide reopened.
5 reasons that no longer applies. Schools will open for all year levels from tomorrow morning. Pubs, restaurants, cafes, bars, they will open.
We will be releasing people from lockdown tonight at midnight. So that will be a huge release for absolutely every South Australian.
There were 172 cases of community transmission to 8 p.m. last night, and unfortunately 60 of those cases were infectious in the community.
What a contrast between those who locked down hard and early and the Premier who did not. The Premier who was hailed as the Premier who saved Australia last year. Well, now Australia's in trouble because of her decisions. Such is the cruelty of this pandemic, not only on citizens but on politicians as well, it seems. Now, as I said, construction to reopen. I understand also the Central Coast and Shellharbour to effectively reopen to regional restriction levels, but not the northern beaches of Sydney. And the announcement expected as early as tomorrow. I expect it tomorrow. So it will be interesting to see if there are any tighter measures in the local government areas where most of the cases are to counter the fact that Gladys Berejiklian is actually loosening restrictions as cases continue to climb. Now, they continued their plea, the New South Wales Health Minister and the Premier, for more Pfizer from the federal government today. They had a supporter in the former Commonwealth Deputy Chief Medical Officer Nick Coatsworth last night, who said it would be a good thing if other states gave over some of their supplies to New South Wales and Sydney in its crisis.
Look, each state has its own individual public policy position. I think it would be a wonderful symbol for Australians to see states donating part of their Pfizer campaign, Pfizer supply to the New South Wales vaccination campaign. Of course I do. I think that would be a wonderful symbol. Whether we will see any of that, I'm not sure.
And if it was one government in charge and not state governments, is there any doubt that more Pfizer would be going to southwestern and Western Sydney? I don't think there is.